I'm going to scoot up just a little because my voice, I need to project. I feel like I need to project it because I'm competing with that back there. Oh, oh gosh, yeah. I want to first and foremost thank all of you for having me. It's an honor really to get in front of everybody we can all the time, to talk about the chamber, to talk about community, to talk about how together we can all make a difference. So I'm really excited to be here and to meet all of you. So thank you for being here in this heat too. Yeah. So my name is Sol Nisbet, and I have lived on the Georgetown Divide for almost 20 years. It's really hard to believe that so many moons ago I started, just my residency up here, and I've loved every second of it. How many of you guys have lived here longer than 10 years? Wow, longer than 20? Wow. And how many of you are fairly new, like under 10? Wow, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, my roots really go back to those beginnings. Just a little background on me. I actually was a probation officer for Sacramento County for many years. I actually did 10 years total. I sound like I was in prison myself. I did 10 years, 10 hard years, 5 in Santa Cruz County, working with juveniles and helping them. And then I transitioned to Sacramento when I realized that housing was too expensive in Santa Cruz. So I came up here and found a beautiful place in Greenwood that I was able to buy, and then worked and commuted down to Sacramento. So a lot of my first years were kind of like a bedroom community. And so it's kind of sad, honestly, because I feel like I missed out in those years. From about 2001 to 2006, I really didn't know my community. And I think as we continue our conversation, you'll kind of see that transition, very much community now. And not that I hadn't been, but when you're working and you're off the hill, you come home, you sleep, and you go back to the grind down in Sacramento or wherever, Roseville, wherever you're at. How many of you guys commute off the hill for work or school? Don't be ashamed. I mean, often, there you go, enthusiasm, I love it. But oftentimes it is needed, and many people still commute, even though they live here and work here, they commute off for other activities as well. So that's a common thing. But I think back to the community and to business, like I said, I kind of felt a little isolated, and I didn't really know anybody because everything was down there. So all the shopping that I did was down there. I mean, everything, friends, coworkers, working in Sacramento. And so back to the probation, I loved working with children. And that's actually what got me into the field of probation. I wanted to help kids who were at risk. And after 10 long years in that field, I decided, I don't really feel like I'm making a difference. I felt like I was kind of just locked up with them, honestly. My hands were tied in a system that I couldn't change myself. And though I wanted to make a difference one-on-one with the kids, I still had limits and boundaries and all that I had to abide by being a probation officer. So I ended up at a conference for financial illiteracy among youth. And it really spoke to me because it was me. I didn't have any kind of financial anything as a child growing up and into my teenage years and adulthood. So I didn't have that map that showed me this is how you establish credit, this is how you file your taxes, this is how you balance a checkbook. And I thought, I need to be making a difference with kids at a much younger age and making a difference financially for them. So I ended up, long story short, working for a very small bank. I quit my probation job, took a humongous pay cut, left my 3% at 50 retirement and started working for a bank. And my goal was to teach financial literacy classes for kids and to give back in a different way, coaching, whatever I had to do to give back to the kids. So, and you'll see this theme of kids even now, all the time. So I left that and I started working and I got to know my community. I feel like I dove into what was going on, who our community is. I think oftentimes we isolate ourselves so much, and being up here, most of the time you find people are a little like, okay, I'm up here in the hills for a reason, right? Leave me alone. Oftentimes that happens. And so, but I was really able to dive in, and then this little bank I worked for got bought by Wells Fargo Bank. So before I knew it, here I was working for a big, giant bank. And I worked my way up. I was a teller when I started out, and quickly, within about 4 years, moved from teller to branch manager. And so guess what I did? I did those financial literacy classes. It was my dream come true. I was able to give back. I went out to all the schools, all of them, the elementary schools, both of them, and of course the junior high and the high school. California Conservation Corps, love those young men. I mean, they're wonderful young men and women. And it really gave me what I was looking for. But in all that, it really, again, put me in touch with the community and with the business community. And so how do we tie it all together, right? So in that time, I was approached by a gentleman. I don't know if any of you know him. His name is Al Menard. Does anybody know? Do you guys know Al? I loved Al. I think about Al often. He doesn't live up here anymore. But he kept coming to my desk when I was a banker, kept saying, Sol, I really want you to join forces with 3 of us, and we can start the formation of the revitalized Chamber of Commerce. And he finally twisted my arm enough. As a banker, again, I was getting to know so many businesses, so many people. I thought it would be a natural fit. And so back in 2007, the revitalization of the chamber came about. And there were 4 of us. In fact, I still drive with fond memories. We're at my Roses Cafe down here. We had our meetings there at Roses, and John and his wife were always there and so gracious. And it was just 4 of us at a little table having dinner and talking about a vision for our community, a vision for our businesses, a vision for our kids. I mean, it was amazing. And so I was a part of that for about 3 or 4 years. And then I kind of got pulled back into the corporate, right? Became a manager, and I just suddenly had no time for other things. So I did that for the manager job for about 4 years. And then I finally realized, it's time to move on and do other things. But before I moved on, I decided to rejoin the chamber board and help them continue. And it's amazing to me because, like I said, 12 years ago now, right? Am I doing my math right? Yeah. 12 years ago, it was just 4 of us. And it was just, we were thankful when we hit 20 members. We got 20 people to join the chamber, and now we're up to almost 100 members. So I want to highlight the brochure that you have there. How many of you guys have seen this outside of today? Good. So this is kind of our little baby. Oh, excuse me. It's our pride and joy. I want to show you guys this map was actually much bigger in the first printing of this brochure. This is probably about the 3rd or 4th printing we've done, and we had to shrink it. It used to take up pretty much the whole front. So it's nice, but this map was actually hand drawn by a gentleman who, do you guys know Elke Schlosser? She's actually on here with Enchanted April Inn. It's a bed and breakfast in Pilot Hill. And she hired this man to draw this map of the area and put all of the important pieces in there. Like we have obviously all the parks, the towns, and it literally is the loop, right? People come up, you can do the loop between 49 and 193 and get to see everything. And so this is really important because a lot of people who come up here or who live up here, who move up here, they don't know. We don't really have, maps are kind of gone anyways now, right? For the most part, and you get your phone out. But this is really neat because it does show a lot of the history. Of course, we have a ton of history. And it's able to help people follow where to go. The reason we had to shrink it is because, as you can see, all the members on here, all the different businesses, organizations. There's also exploration and adventure on here. These are all chamber members. So we really wanted to highlight those folks who have given back, decided to join the chamber, and joined us in this endeavor. And then we have some highlights, the bigger ads on the side. But for people coming up here, and again, for people who live up here and they say, gee, I need to find what's, XYZ's phone number. I need to get a hold of Divide Supply. Oh, I know, it's in here. So it kind of serves as a directory as well. But this is, like I said, one of our most important pieces. We've got our website down here. If you guys want to, at some point, explore on there, we've got a lot of great info in there. Every month we host mixers, and I got to tell you, these mixers go quick. We plan them out about October, November of each year for the whole next year. So, and people are already talking to me about next year's mixers because they want in. So what a mixer is, anybody ever attended a mixer? Okay. A lot of people get confused. They're like, is it a singles mixer? Like, what? They think it's a dating thing. No. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. So a mixer is a business or an individual hosts a gathering, is really what it is. And we bring food. They usually provide the food and drinks. And people come, business owners, community members come, and it's our opportunity to network with one another, get to know one another, and learn about what we're doing. This is where the talking comes in. Oh, I made a great connection because, you're interested in kids, I'm interested in kids, or you just started a new business. How can we help you get started and keep going and promote you? Because we're here to promote, right? The chamber is here to promote the businesses and the community. So those, those are our mixers. And like I said, we do them once a month, first Tuesday of the month. And pretty much everyone's invited. I know that there's times when can I get some water real quick? I've got some here, or coffee. My voice is starting to go. Yeah, coffee. Excuse me. So, first Tuesday of the month from 5:30 to 7:30 generally. Excuse me. We do have some that have to be from 6 to 8 when we host at Wells Fargo Bank. They're open till 6, so we do it a little bit later. But they really are open to everyone. Thank you. Because we want to expose our community and our business owners. I mean, who knows? Maybe you want to go into business for yourself and you want to talk to somebody who's doing it right now. What a great opportunity for you to come in and learn and grow, right? So that's what it's about. It's about really helping one another learn from each other, because, gosh, if we don't have to recreate that wheel and just learn, from somebody else, from their mistakes, from their victories, why not, right? So now you've got this. We do have also, down at the bottom, is the Eldorado EldoradoAdventureLoop.com. That's another website where we do even more promoting of different things like recreation. We've got amazing pictures.
One of the things that's going on with Chamber is they have the mixers at different places. And this month, right, or next month actually, August, they're going to be at National Night Out, which is in Greenwood. It's on the 7th of August. She's looking at me like, this is just a safe date one, but there's confirmation. It started off in Greenwood as a national night out, it makes sense. It's a national event, and we're really, in Greenwood, we're really encouraging people from different community organizations to come and help out. So the range is going to be with music, and Chamber's going to be there. I can't remember, there's someone else going to come to the food. Rotary's doing the food. And it's Chamber doing the raffle. So there's all kinds of things. There's music. There's all kinds of booths there. But the chamber will be there too, so you get to see something, and you can talk to people and come and hang out and get a raffle ticket. And it's really fun. You get to talk about networking. You get the chance to meet your neighbors. You get a chance to see people that you didn't even know that you were like, hey, I went to high school with you. I see this all the time. It's a really nice event. So come on down.
Better.
Okay. Yes.
I think I'm trying to talk too loud, and it's like, I'm going to pass. I'm going to give one to each table, because Anna brought a few. How many of you guys have seen this? Yeah, this is an amazing publication. You can just go through it. But we have. Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this.
Where's the girl?
So some of the partnerships we've been able to form, like I said, this is about partnerships. We've been really proud of how far we've come, honestly, because back before I even got involved in the chamber, the rumor is, and I've never been able to confirm, but there was some animosity between some of the towns, and there probably still is some. You have little funny remarks that even some of my kids make sometimes, and it's like, no, we're all on the divide together. Yeah, but, and I got that back in 2007 when, as a banker, I would come up from Cool and talk to the businesses up there and talk about the chamber. Oh, we just, kind of started the chamber again, and I'd get that little, comment or whatnot. Yeah, but I think I live in Georgetown now, which is funny because really, I do so much on the divide. It's not just Georgetown, it's everywhere. But I really feel like we've seen a big turn in that. And I think a lot of that has to do with getting people together, bringing everyone to the table and saying, we want to hear what you have to say. We had collaborations with so many organizations here on the divide. Of course, back to the kids, right? Black Oak Mine Unified School District. We started, I'm really, really proud to say, we started an intern program for high school students where they can come in, join our chamber as a board member, and participate in our meetings, participate in our events. They come to the mixers, anything that we can do to provide that outside of the classroom experience for them is huge. And so we've had 3 interns in the last 3 years. Alan Nicholson, Remy Bidstrup, and John McClatchy. If any of you know those young people, they are extremely, just so dedicated, so passionate. And I'm really, really proud to say we've got Nolan Myers coming on as our new intern this year. Watch out, yeah. He came to our mixer. Yeah, are we still in July? We're still in July, right? Yeah. For a minute. He came to our mixer and everyone just was so impressed by him. So, and I see that turning at the school level too. There's more awareness of different things going on in our community. I know we always try to incorporate the school. We've had them come out to various, Christmas and Cool community events. I dragged the kids into the father-daughter dance. We kind of outside of the chamber, but really it's everybody coming together. We had many businesses that sponsored the father-daughter dance. How many of you guys have known about it? 25 years it's gone on. It's a very long time. So so bringing those partnerships in, the Cool Community Hall, which now, Cool Hall now, we've had conversations with them about partnering up. Rotary has been huge in our corner as well, helping them. We mutually help one another. We just shared a Jeepers Jamboree table today with them. So again, if we show that cohesiveness with the community, it's going to follow. It's going to be like little waves that just go out, and eventually everybody will be more together and just working to help one another. So that's what it's about. I want to share a quote. I had the pleasure of talking to a class last fall. It was actually kind of a business class that Mr. Jones, Robin Jones, he's a fairly new teacher at the junior high and high school. And I started my conversation with the students with this quote, because when I read that, it really resonated with me and what we're trying to do. And it's a quote by Henry Ford. The highest use of capital is not to make more money, but to make money do more for the betterment of life. That's what it's about. I want to show you guys this. How many of you guys have heard of the Grizzly Run? 38 years. We're going on 39 this year. It is just unbelievable to me. And have any of you guys ran it? You're in for a treat. So back in the day when it started, there were like hundreds of runners. And it's interesting how things change over time, right? Now we've got, and they had like 2 sponsors, maybe 1 sponsor. Now we've got like maybe 20, 30 runners. But look at the business sponsors on this. It's impressive. And it's because of that, again, the partnership of bringing business together to work with the community, because I'm in business for myself as well. So like I mentioned, I was with Wells Fargo. I kind of took off and did my own thing. I went into mortgages, so mortgages and refinances, and I work for a great company, CMG Financial. But really, and I'm happy that I make a good living. I feel like I make a difference with my clients. But how do I give back? And I think I know a lot of businesses feel that way too. My husband owns a business in Placerville, auto mechanic repair shop, and he feels the same way too. A lot of business owners feel that way. You know what? You're coming to me. How do I give back to you? So this is just an example of how we do that to, again, work together. So, pardon me?
Got to get a few more runners.
A few more runners. Yeah, we started a kids fun run too, to bring in the little kids, and we've had some success, but we got to just keep pushing, because ultimately this goes back to the kids. All the funds raised from this go back in the form of scholarships. We just gave track and field $1,000 from this run for new equipment, new uniforms, whatever they need. We also just gave out 6 scholarships to high school students, graduating seniors. So we were honored to do that. And it's because of efforts like this, again, bringing business and community together, that everyone thrives. If I see Terry's Pizza, Terry, right? Terry and Yo, they're amazing. I want to do what I can to support them because they give so much back. It's a reciprocal relationship. I brought 2 of these, and if you guys want to raffle them off, or, yeah, so they're brand spanking new. Partnerships with the county. I must say, we've come probably the farthest when it comes to our visibility. We are the farthest northern part of our county. So when people think about El Dorado County, they usually think of Placerville, Pollock Pines, Camino, Apple Hill, right? They get all the attention. Highway 50. And so oftentimes they forget us on this side. We've been very blessed to have Michael Rinaldi as our county supervisor for the last 4, and hopefully for the next 4 he'll be here. But he served on our board, for our chamber board, for about 2 years before he got elected. And he's opened a lot of doors, frankly, to giving us the exposure and what we need, the resources. We've got so many needs out here. So with his support and help, we've done a lot. The chamber has been there at many events and many activities that we had never been at before. So again, getting those folks on that side to recognize what we've done out here. How many of you guys seen the signs, the different signs that show the different areas? So we've got one just down the road here showing Garden Valley, Greenwood. Every single community has that sign, and it's all the same sign. We as a chamber applied for a grant to make that known so that we have that consistency within our cities. We've got the loop that shows you where to go. So it's all kind of connecting the dots and, again, gaining more visibility. Yeah, well, they say, welcome to Greenwood, welcome to Garden Valley. And we worked with Garden Valley Association for the placement of the signs. So we didn't just as a chamber go, oh yeah, we're going to put signs. We worked, again, this is an example of collaboration. We worked with those organizations to strategically place those where it was going to be the most visible and people would be able to remember. They're the metal ones. They're kind of tanned. The only difference, there's one right in front of or on the side of Divide Supply. The one in Cool, of course, you guys have all seen that. Next year, I'm going to bring this a slideshow. And so the one in Georgetown, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but as you're coming to the stop sign, there's a black one now. And that's different. It actually used to match all the other ones. However, rumor is somebody ran the old sign over, so they had to get a new one, and it's unfortunately not the same as the other ones. But the black sheep, no.
Somebody graffitied the one in
What? They did?
Yeah, yeah.
The one here?
Yeah, on Marshall Road.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, every time I drive by, it was
2 or 3 days later, it was,
somebody cleaned it up.
I assumed
Oh.
they replaced it, yeah.
No, I think it was cleaned up.
I'll have to look because that's been one of my fears is that somebody would go out there and just, maybe kids or whatnot, just mess around with the signs. But good to know, and I'm glad somebody cleaned it up. When I drive by, I always look at all the signs and make sure everything's looking good. So thanks for letting me know. Yeah, right. Pardon me?
I said the kids wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm trying to look at my notes. I did participate, I'll give you another example of how we're able to collaborate. There is an agricultural tour. I know you asked me to kind of speak on that a little bit. So every year, the El Dorado County Chamber hosts an agricultural tour. And it's my understanding that they go to different places every year. It's open to people who, leaders in our communities and people who serve on the El Dorado County Chamber Board and a guest. And it's non-transferable. So they want those specific people to bring another guest. And this year we had the honor of seeing up close and personal the Wakamatsu Trail, that whole area. We went into that home, the old historic farm, the home. And then we also toured Gold Hill. We went down to Lotus Coloma into their little center that they have down there, and the Parks Department came out and spoke with us about the recreation and what it means to Coloma, really, and the history of that. And then we ended up for lunch at Heart to Heart. But really talking about how agriculture is so big out here, and it affects us so much, of course, with the wine industry, but just in general. I mean, we've got the water issues, as you guys probably know, here, but really learning about EID out in Placerville and learning how their systems work. I mean, it was an extremely educational day of just learning more about our county. So that again brings me back to the exposure that we've had from the Divide back out to Placerville and El Dorado County in general to represent us as the community out here. The last thing I want to mention is Christmas in Cool. How many of you guys have heard about Christmas in Cool? This is my little baby in pride and joy. One day I was driving through Cool and I thought, I know Georgetown. I live on Main Street. They do this wonderful, beautiful parade. How come Cool doesn't have anything? And so I had this huge idea of having the road shut down and do this big parade thing. And they're like, wait a minute, time out. We're not going to shut 49 for a parade. So I, scrambled and I brought that idea to our chamber and said, how can we make this happen? And we're going on our 4th year. This year will be our 4th. But really what that, again, showcases is how, again, the community comes together to help one another. The booths, if you were to have a booth, it's only $25. We wanted to make it affordable for anyone and everyone. And then if you're there fundraising for any youth organization of any sort, it's free. So giving, again, that opportunity for getting people together, to mingle, to talk, to gather, to just get to know your neighbors and your community. And that's been a very successful event. I thought, it was like the morning of, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if we could just get 100 people to show up for this thing, I'll be happy. We had about 40 vendors. And the first year, we had over 300 people. And it was just, my heart was just bursting because it really showed people need this. People need to feel that connection. And when you combine the community and the businesses together, great things are going to happen.
Where was it?
It's down in Cool. Let's see, we started at the American River Pizza parking lot. So we closed that down. We got everybody to buy into this idea, all the businesses and the owners of those respective, because it's all different pieces owned by different people. And then last year, for the first time, we moved it across the street to the Holiday Market Shopping Center, and which is actually much better. We had the lighting, although we did it earlier in the day. But we played with some different ideas and different things. We have a small parade, and we get so many kids to come out and participate. The choir, the high school choir is there, band. I mean, you build it and they'll come, right? And we sure did. And so, again, that's another example of how the chamber kind of puts everybody together to, again, better our whole community. So what questions do you guys have for me?
So I guess we go to your website for membership information, right?
So membership information, we have, thank you for bringing that up. I think we have record number of nonprofits and even some individuals who join the chamber who are not, individuals who don't have a business but just want to be connected. So we have quite a few of those, and then we do have quite a few nonprofits that have joined recently because, again, it gives them that exposure. If you're a chamber member, I don't have it with me, but how many of you guys have seen in the Gazette, the local paper, we have what we call Voice of Business. So it's a great opportunity for us to showcase you. In fact, what we're doing now is if you're hosting a mixer, we're going to put an article in there for you just to give you kind of more value. You're hosting, it's about $300 roughly if you're hosting a mixer. Some businesses split it. So, for example, I hosted one with Allison Cooper, who's doing real estate up in Georgetown. Her and I split the cost, and it was great. We have a lot of that, and that's totally fine. I mean, shoot, we can host one here. Yeah, and highlight what you've got. I mean, you guys rent this, right?
We do.
There you go. What a great opportunity. So, again, coming together and working together. But so membership is $50 for the year for nonprofits, and it's $100 for the year for businesses. And we also give a discount for multiple businesses as well.
I'm a member of Mexico, as I told my friend this because you were speaking.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys have a publication of community events that are certain time periods?
That's a great question. Patty Smith, a local realtor, does a calendar once a year, and she's put out, hey, contact me if you want your activity on the calendar. So to my knowledge, that's probably the closest thing we have. We do a lot of stuff on Facebook. We try to do a lot of stuff on Facebook. So if we have events coming up, chamber events, or even just events in general.
There's a lot of organizations, so I'm sure it's pretty full because we're trying to organize some fundraisers and like.
Yes.
Year two, right?
We always had that challenge. In fact, what were we planning? Was it Youth Expo? One of those. Oh yeah, Youth Expo. I'm on the planning committee for Youth Expo, and it's in October. Guess what? Homecoming is also in October. So, okay, who do we know? Luckily, we were able to go right on the website for Black Oak Mine and found the date for homecoming, and we're like, okay, we're good. But I agree. I wish I had more time myself because I think that's a great idea to be able to do that because as things come up, pardon me?
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, as things come up, and maybe we'll revisit. You know what? I'm going to put that on my little to-do. Or even just a website, right? Calendar of events.
You can refer to we could have it on this weekend because nothing's happening.
Right. And there's so many things that go on up here, as you guys all know. I mean, quilt show. Right. It might not have all of them, or to my point with the high school with homecoming, you don't really think about that. But if you're doing activities for kids, chances are you're competing with something like that.
The Georgetown Library has, on their website, they have
Calendar of events?
I don't know if they have everything, but they have many things that are with kids. It couldn't be with the library. We don't need
Yeah,
to-
right.
No, I'm just saying,
Right.
doing anything with kids anywhere else but the library.
Yeah, and then throw sports in there too, and that's done. So that's a challenge as well. But we will take that to heart. Any ideas that you guys have as community members? I mean, you're in your own circles, right? And you kind of see a need. Please reach out to me. My business card is on the back with my cell number and my email. You can always contact me that way. But honestly, again, this is an opportunity for us to connect and for you guys to let us know, like you just, to your point, what's important to you? What do you see? Where's this big hole that we can hopefully fill in and make it better for everybody? So, any other questions or comments? We are going to be putting together some workshops. We did that about a year and a half ago when I was president of our chamber. I'm treasurer now. but we had a legal workshop on trusts. Very important. When I was a banker and a manager at Wells Fargo, I can't tell you how many times I had people come in and God forbid some tragedy happened and they don't have a loved one anymore and there's no trust. There's, account issues that come up. I mean, it can be really, really challenging for a lot of people, and at the worst time, right? You're grieving and you're upset, and then now you got to deal with all this bank stuff. And so for me, I just learned the value of having a trust from talking to people. And so I had an attorney from Placerville because I was using one here. I would refer him a lot here locally, but he had some health issues and was kind of retired, was retired. And so I found a gentleman from Placerville who came up. In fact, we had it at the Cool Hall. We rented the Cool Hall. This was, and we had about 20, 25 people there who really wanted to learn, had never really gone down that path, and it was great. We are going to do it again. So I ran into the retired attorney who said, guess what? I'm back in business now. So he came out of retirement. He lives in Cool. Wonderful man. Like I said, I referred a lot of people to him and always got amazing feedback. And so he called me a few days ago and said, I really want to do this with you guys. And so maybe we could do it here. I think that would be great. Yeah. Right. Yeah, absolutely. More exposure for you guys too. Because I really, pardon me?
This is the poor side. Or at least considered the poor.
No. So that is a great opportunity again for us to reach out to the community and provide a service to our business community too, because as a business owner too, with like my husband's shop, you got to cover all the legal aspects of things. So that's very important. So we're going to be doing that again. And then I want to bring out the director of tourism for El Dorado County, have her come out. I believe I talked to you about possibly even the head of the county, Don Ashton. Have you guys, do you know Don? Yeah, he and I met about a month ago, just one-on-one, and he lives here in Cool. So, and he is literally our county CAO, Chief Financial Officer, Chief Administrative Officer, CAO. But very open to getting to know the community. In fact, he was at Cool Hall a few months back too. So these are people who are really genuinely wanting to help, wanting to be there, wanting to educate the public on how counties ran, because, that's a whole nother hour. Yeah, but very important, especially if you're learning more about the county and have questions. I'm sure a lot of you have questions about funding, and gosh, there's so much that happens over there. So, yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. I really thank you for having me. Sorry about my voice. Thank you. And here's your shirts. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we have a booth at National Night Out also at the Greenwood.
All right.
Oh, you are? Oh, that's
I
wonderful.
guess so.